What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet, or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready, and so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's going on, my wreckage clearers? What is up with you today? Ooh! It's so good to be back with you. I went out of town on a little vacay, and that was nice. Now I'm back to business. Back to business. And you better believe when I was on vacation, clearing the wreckage did not stop. I was taking time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Yes, this is an everyday thing. And you know what? If you're listening to me every single week, I believe that you are part of this community and that you are committed to clearing the wreckage on a daily basis. Yes, and I believe that because as I walked into the coffee shop and sat down, I am starting to see this light shining around you now. I am starting to see that you are no longer acting like a kid. You are growing up. I am starting to see that you have actually been applying these things to your life. The stuff that we talk about each week in our imaginative coffee shop. Yes. And so I just want to say I'm so proud of you. And I want to thank you for being committed to becoming a wreckage clearer. Yes. Yes. But I just want to state something right now. You know, I never thought that I played a role in anything. I never thought I played a role in anything. I never thought I had a part in something. Remember last week's conversation where I talked about, oh my gosh, everybody has a role. Everybody plays a part. You know, as I was screaming, being a victim and blaming everybody else, I still had a part in all of that. Yes. But I didn't think I did. I really never thought I played a role in anything. I'm talking about nothing. Everyone and everything was at fault. Everything and everyone was responsible for my actions. They were even responsible for my thoughts. Wow. How does that make sense? Make it make sense, you know? Well, it didn't, because I was insane and I needed to come to believe in a power greater than myself to restore me to sanity, because I was doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Folks, that is the definition of insanity. I was thinking the same way and I was expecting a different action to come out. Somebody please tell me how that's going to happen. Yep. I was obsessing over the same anger or the same problem over and over, or the same thing that somebody did to me 15 years ago or during my childhood, and I was expecting to be different. I was expecting a different result besides going and running and hiding and trying to escape to numb those feelings. Well, no, because I was just a baby, remember? So when I was irritated, doggone it, I needed the bottle. Don't let me start preaching up in here. I'm ready today. I'm ready. Are y'all ready to clear the wreckage? Let's go. Let's get it. So the episode today and our conversation will be, this was a vital step and a vital, when I say vital, I mean it is imperative, and it was imperative for me, and it is imperative for you, my friends. Because if you're going to be a wreckage clearer, it is imperative for you to admit to God, yes, I said that word, admit to God. Oh, some of you are like, oh, well, I don't really, believe in, here he goes talking about God again. That guy. Is that all he talks about? Well, let me tell you this. I needed God to help me to clear the wreckage, doggone it, and I need God day by day to help me clear the wreckage, because God is the one that is actually clearing the wreckage. He's giving me the power to clear the wreckage. Don't let me start preaching up in here. Hey, it ain't Sunday, and I ain't no pastor. So anyway, admitting to God and another person the exact nature of our wrongs. This step was vital for me. When I tell you, my friends, man, and I'm going to share it all with you because I believe that this is a step. I just said it. I'm repeating myself because of how important this is. Doggone it, this is very important. When it comes to clearing the wreckage, when it comes to development, when it comes to growth, when it comes to recovery, when it comes to healing, all the above is what we're doing, right, on a day-to-day basis. We're never healed, we're healing, right? We're never cleared of the wreckage, we're clearing, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. Y'all thought it was over. No. That's why you get an episode every week, because this is the journey that we're doing together, my friends, and I'm so happy that you are walking alongside of me. So let's get into it. You ready? Yeah, you're ready. I never thought that I was a selfish person. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Through this whole episode, I'm going to be admitting to you. You're going to be the person I'm admitting to. The exact nature of my wrongs, doggone it. So open your ears and hopefully be understanding. But yeah, I never thought I was a selfish person. I'm serious. I never thought I was a selfish person. What about you? I just have that question for you. What about you? Because for me, see, I thought I was the most giving person on earth. In fact, my name means the generous one. My name means generous. Generous, the blessed one. That's what my name means. Yes. So I thought I was the most giving person on earth. I thought, y'all, I'm not playing with you. I really did. And I thought, you know what? You are blessed. And you were blessed, doggone it. If you received a gift from Kareem, if you received a look from Kareem, if you was a woman and you got the eye from me, whoo, you were blessed. If you got a handshake from me, if you were a dude, you were blessed. If you got a chance to spend time with me, you were blessed. If you were able to touch my cloak, you would be healed, doggone it. That, my friends, is how I thought. And here's the crazy thing about it. Here's the insanity. Here it comes. Here comes my mind. Welcome to it. Welcome to the wreckage. On the other hand, I'm like, why does this person want to be around me? Why me? I have nothing to offer. I am unlovable. I am unworthy of love, right? I'm not worthy of their kindness. I'm not worthy of this gift that they're giving me. Wait, why does she want to kiss me? Why does she want to be with me? No. Something fishy about this. I was waiting for your rejection. I was waiting for you to leave me. Hold on now. Boy, I think it might be Sunday. I was waiting for you to hurt me. Boy, I'm about to start preaching. I was waiting for you to abandon me. I was waiting for you to abuse me. I was waiting for you to bully me. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, my friends. Yes. Because it is what I experienced. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. This one's going to get you. My thoughts created all of that. You're probably like, what? How did your thoughts create? My thoughts created all of it. When certain girls cheated on me, I already had thought about it. I already had said it. They're going to cheat on me. It's going to happen. And that's what they did. My fear created that reality. I don't know if y'all hear me. You catch my drift? You catch my drift? That was my dilemma, my friends. And this is still my dilemma. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with you. Self-will. And I must admit that this was of my own making. Did you know that my problems were created by me? I didn't even think about that. They were created mostly by what I was thinking. Remember how I shared with you on the last episode about your viewpoint, aka perception? Viewpoint equals perception. They're the same thing. Point of view, viewpoint, perception. Your perception equals your interpretation or understanding. Your interpretation or understanding, then that turns into a belief, which then creates your reality. Woo! Yes. Do I need to repeat myself so you can hear me well and hear me clearly? So let me clarify it for you. Your thoughts come first and then the action. Yes, my friends. And I will say this to you over and over and over again in further episodes because that is what we do. We think about it and then we act on it. The thought has to come first. The action does not come first. The thought has to come first. Yes. But I also did not know that I was in bondage. I was a slave to my thoughts. I was a slave to my thoughts, which led me to being inside of a cage. A cage with a sign on it stating, this animal is an endangered species. Yep. Then under that title, it goes on to say, this animal is an endanger to himself. This animal is endangered and an endangered species due to the way that he attacks other animals. So do not get too close to the cage. If this animal feels threatened in any way, he will attack you. If this animal is frightened, he may run and hide. If this animal does not feel safe, he may try to escape. But folks, we are doing all that we can to tame this animal, but we are failing. Soon, this animal you are looking at will be extinct. It will die due to the way it harms itself. Mainly harming itself, not others, but also the harm that it does to others. But as you can see, this animal is beautiful. I mean, look at it. A rare beauty. an amazing species. But the problem is within the animal. This animal has no self-control. He acts out of self-pity, self-delusion, and 100 forms of fear. If only we can get this animal to recognize what it is that is keeping him captive, which is only himself, then he may be freed. He will then see the beauty within and how amazing he is, how wonderfully created he is by his creator. And then he will begin to desire to connect with his creator and others in a genuine way. We conclude by stating that this animal will finally begin to walk in the sunlight of the spirit, paw and paw with his creator and the rest of the animal kingdom. He will begin on a journey of true self-discovery, and he will begin to know who he really is, and progressively, day by day, become who he was meant to be. Folks, that is why, and this is why, it was important, and I mean vital, to admit to God and another person the exact nature of my wrongs, and I am saying the same to you, because we are both on this journey, and we are going to walk hand in hand, and we are going to clear the wreckage together. Now, when it comes to admitting to God and to another person the exact nature of our wrongs, some may say this is a confession of sin. I just say admit your crap. Stop walking in your doo-doo. Stop walking in your poop. Stop leaving your poop all over other people's yards. And clean your crap up. Oh, it was my dog's. It was mine. I'll pick it up. I'm sorry. You know what? That was very selfish of me to allow my dog to take a poop in your yard and not clean it up. Yes. Own up and take responsibility for your actions. That is what I had to learn to do. That's all this is. That's all this is. You don't have to look at it from a religious point of view or anything like that. Oh, this sounds religious. No, it's just about having accountability, owning up, taking responsibility for your actions. And so for me, as you know, that first part was kind of easy, that admission to myself. You know what I mean? Like, that part was kind of just there. It was easy, right? It wasn't that hard. At least not after I became aware, remember, of all that. And then I acknowledged what I became aware of. It's easy. It was easy because I was at the admitting stage. I shared the 4 A's with you. Episode 32 and 33. Go back to listen to those if you need to relearn that. So, yeah. I mean, and it's easy, right? Even when you mess up and you finally know you did. Finally, keyword. Some of us take forever just to acknowledge, to become aware that we did something wrong. Some of us are so used to doing the same destructive behavior over and over and over and over again, living in secrecy over and over again, cheating on this person, doing harm to this person, and to where it's just like we become desensitized. That was me, by the way. That was me. I was desensitized to my own behavior. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. Remember? I told you. I didn't know I played a role in anything. I was like, nah, everybody else is to blame. Not me, buddy. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing while I'm over here guzzling a fifth of whiskey. I ain't do nothing. That's why I'm drinking, because of them. They making me do all this. as if somebody put a gun to my head, had me handcuffed to a chair, shackled by the legs of the chair, and say, hey, here's the bottle. If you don't drink this, I will pull the trigger. That's not what happened. Now, if that was the case, yes, then I could blame that person that tied me up and that was going to kill me. I could be like, nope, you know what? Nah, he made me. He definitely made me. I was going to die if I didn't drink it. I was just going to die. No. But that wasn't the case. I thought about it, and then the action came. I chose my own destructive behavior. Right. So, but let's just play with this. Let's say, so it's easy, right? It's easy. When you mess up and you finally know you did, it's kind of easy. Kind of easy to be like, dang, I shouldn't have said that. Man, you know what? Dang, I shouldn't have done that. You can kind of acknowledge and admit and accept that, right? The hard part is actually going to the person. It's kind of easy for you to just admit that to yourself. Be like, oh, man, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. It's easy. Why is it easy? Because God lives inside of you. That is your conscience. Don't make me start preaching up here. There is a spirit that lives inside of you that tells you right from wrong. So anyway, let's move on. But the hard part is actually going to that person when you screw up, or when you screw them over, or when you hurt them, or when you say something to them that you should not have said, or when you yell at them and you should not have raised your voice. You know, I'm guilty of that. I'm human, right? It's hard. It's hard to be like, hey, I apologize for what I said. I apologize for raising my voice. I should not have raised my voice in that way. That was impolite. It was rude. It was cruel. It was disrespectful. And quite selfish of me, actually. I was reacting emotionally instead of stopping and thinking about my actions. Right? That's hard. That's hard. It's hard to just own up all the way the exact nature of your wrong. I'm not talking about just saying, hey, I'm sorry. That's not owning up to anything. That is not admitting to God and to another person the exact nature of your wrongs. Let's get that part straight right now. We're not talking about going up to somebody and just saying, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? That's going to be my next question. If you walk up to me and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to be like, what you sorry for? Because I'm sorry, I don't accept your apology. Because I don't know what you're apologizing for. Right? So it's about owning up completely. That is what this step is about. It is about owning up, taking ownership of my own thoughts that produced my own actions, and what was I thinking that led to those actions. The exact nature. That's the exact nature. Did you hear me explain that? It is about me, again, I'll repeat it. It's about you and I taking responsibility, taking ownership of our actions, and taking ownership of our thoughts that led to that action in a nutshell. And what is it that I was thinking that led to the action? Because again, thoughts come first. That's the first wave. Whoop! First sound wave that comes in. Boop, boop, boop. You think it, and then you do it. So the exact nature, admitting the exact nature of your own is admitting all of that. That's what that is. So when I did this, I sat my mentor aside, and we're using that word for the rest of the world because not everybody that's listening to me is in recovery. I know that. But that is a recovery term that we use is called a sponsor. But I sat down with him, and of course, I wrote everything down first, and I said it out loud to God. This is why I acted the way I acted. These are the thoughts that I had that led to those actions. And you know what? Most of it was fear. 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 I cannot say that enough. Fear. I was a terrified little kid. I was terrified. You know what I was terrified of? I already shared it with you. That you were going to leave me. That you were going to hurt me. That you were going to reject me. Yeah. That you were not going to accept me. That you were going to judge me. I was terrified. Terrified of that. Yeah. So, for me, I'm not about to apologize to you. I'm not about to apologize to you because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of you, and I'm terrified of what you're going to think of me, and I'm terrified that you are now going to neglect me, reject me, not accept me, and leave me and hurt me. As a matter of fact, I'm terrified that you're going to retaliate because of something that I did, and you're going to be offended by it, and you're not going to forgive me. You're not going to accept my apology. And because of that fear, it led to my bad behavior. Catch my drift? So I wasn't going to own up to anything. Because in my mind, as I shared with you last week, right? They the ones who made me say that. They the ones that made me do that. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had done none of that. None of that wouldn't have happened. That was my thinking. That was my thinking, my friends. That was my thinking. So that was quite the dilemma that I was in. My problems were of my own making. And my friends, this is simply a vital step in the growth process, in the growth and development process, in the recovery process, in the healing process. In your spiritual journey, this is clearing the wreckage. Because we are never healed, we are healing. We are never cleared, we are clearing. Remember? So let's talk about the God part in there. All right, Kareem, why do I need to admit something to God? I mean, doesn't God already know everything? Here's the deal. Yes, I believe that God does know everything. God is all-knowing. That's what I believe. And yes, so God does know what I've done. God knows what you have done. And so that's where your question comes from. Well, if God already knows, then why do I need to admit it? Because it is about healing. It is about you saying this out loud. It is about you taking the power away. Hear me, taking the power away from your thoughts and your behavior and giving that power to something greater than you. It is about allowing something bigger, something greater, because you're not the end all be all. How I thought I knew everything. I thought, oh boy, if you touch my cloak, you're gonna be healed. I thought I was God walking on the earth. I'm not. And neither are you. Neither are you. I'll be the first person to tell you if that's what you're thinking that you are. You're not. So here's what it does. When we do that, when we admit to God, and then when we admit it to another person, it leads to profound emotional and spiritual healing because it promotes humility, accountability, all while breaking the cycle of secrecy, guilt, and isolation that often fuels those destructive behaviors. Parentheses, wreckage. Wreckage equals destruction. Destructive behaviors. Wreckage and destruction, they mean the same thing. Destruction is a synonym of wreckage. So that's what we're talking about here. So we're here to clear that, right? We're here to clear that wreckage. We're here to clear those destructive behaviors. This is a way to clear it. Simple, point blank. Because for one, you need the forgiveness of God. And you need to experience God's grace. You need to experience God's grace. Because it is sufficient for you. It is enough to go around for you and for other people. When you admit that, and then you realize that you're not, and this was me. So I'm sharing my experience with you. Remember how I thought, if you have been listening to me all the way up to now, how I thought I deserved punishment, so guilt and shame was my makeup. It was fear, and then it was guilt and shame. I felt as if I deserved punishment. That's what I'm worthy of. I'm not worthy of any affection or love from anyone, and that includes God. So with that being said, when I admitted to God, when I wrote that stuff down in my journal, everything that I did, who I became, and why did I do what I did, why did I say what I said, when I did that, and the God that I knew back then, at least, was going to be a God that was going to condemn me and punish me. Because wait, isn't that what I deserve? Isn't that what I deserve? I messed up. I blew it, so I deserve to be punished. This is how I thought, my friends. This is how I thought. So I was sitting there waiting to be smited. I was like, oh, here comes the lightning. Oh, I'm doomed now. I'm not going to heaven. After admitting this, no. There was fear again. But it helped me to embrace that fear. And when I embraced it, I received God's grace. Nothing bad happened to me. In fact, it felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. It felt like I was being free. I was being released from the cage, from the bondage of self, if that makes any sense. So practicing this also facilitates a deeper sense of peace and wholeness. When I admitted to God and to another person the exact nature of my wrongs, when I sat down with my sponsor, aka mentor, we call him mentor, I keep saying sponsor, I'm sorry, and I shared that with him, it brought about a sense of peace. I felt relief. I felt I ain't got to carry all this guilt, all this shame around anymore. And then here's somebody that actually, before I even started sharing any of the things, he said, hey, whatever you share to me, just know that I understand, and I probably have been through way too. Remember, this guy was 65, 66 years old. He was double my age. So he just reassured me. Been there, done that. Whatever you're about to say to me, been there. So there's no judgment here. He made it a safe space for me. So I don't know who it is for you. It could be a priest. It could be a therapist. It could be a friend. I don't know who it is, but you need to find somebody to own up to admit the exact nature of your wrongs, because practicing this provides healing and freedom, as I just stated. And then for you are as sick as your secrets. Do you know that? Do you know that? You probably don't even know that. You probably don't even know that you're sick. I did not know that I was sick. I did not know that I was sick. Again, I thought I was the best thing walking. I didn't know I was sick. I was like, shoot, boy, you touch me, you're going to be healed, boy. I heal sickness. I ain't sick. The rest of y'all are sick. The rest of this world, woo, boy, y'all need some help. Y'all are sick. That is how I thought, y'all. And then on the other hand, I thought, well, I don't deserve any good things to happen to me. I am unworthy of love and affection. Nobody is going to stay and stick around with me because I'm no good. They don't need to stick around. They need to leave because I'm just going to sabotage everything. That is how I thought. And that was a secret. That was a secret that I was holding in. And I was sick. It made me sick. But guess what? We are taught to hide. We're taught to hide. As little kids, we are taught to play hide and seek. Yeah, don't act like you remember that game. You remember that game, hide and seek, huh? Yep. Hey, all right. I'll count. I'm going to go count the 10, close my eyes, and y'all run and hide. And then the person that I cannot find, or the person that you cannot find, wins the game. So the person that finds the most intricate, most amazing hiding spot, most amazing way to escape and isolate, the most amazing way to stay in secret wins. And so we're taught that from childhood. So imagine now what society is continually showing us. Keep secrets. You don't need to tell nobody that. Oh, no, go. Hey, if you're cheating on your girlfriend or your boyfriend, why would you fess up? Why would you tell them that you made a mistake? They're just going to leave you, right? Here comes the fear. They're never going to accept you. They're never going to forgive you for that. So you might as well just go ahead and keep on doing it and then keep lying about it and then keep creating more lies, which keeps you in secrecy, in guilt, and in isolation. We don't want people to find out about us. We don't want people to find out about that. You think I wanted people, my family, my friends to know that I was a drunk and a drug addict? You think I wanted my family and friends to know that? I'm okay with it now. I'm as sick as my secrets. I'm okay with, the whole world knowing because that's who I was. That was my behavior. I am a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. Because now I know I have the tools to now clear the wreckage. You catch my drift? So what I'm saying is that I tried to hide in every way that I knew. In every way that I knew how. And you probably were doing the same thing. And a lot of it is because of how we were taught. Come on, man. We're taught a game. Catch me if you can. Hide and seek, all that stuff. Tag you're it at a very young age. Oh my gosh. It's bad. And so, of course, now it's time for us to unlearn these things, to go inside to see that. And, oh, man, you know what? I need to start clearing that. Let me start learning how to tell the truth. Remember that episode about being honest? Let me learn how to start just saying let me start clearing it. Let me tell the truth here. Let me be honest about this. But you think I wanted that girl to know that I was having sex with other girls besides her? No, I portrayed that I was loyal. Nah, it's only you, baby. That's what I said. That's what I did. And she may be even listening to this, right? There was a female and who is now a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, who I did that to. And I'm so grateful for what I've learned. Because I was able to see that. I was able to admit that to God, admit that to another person, and the exact nature of my wrongs. And eventually, which we'll get to on another episode, I'm going ahead, I was able to make amends. I was able to make amends to her. We're kind of talking about the amend part now, too, because that's what owning up and taking responsibility for your actions is all about, especially when you wrong someone. Anyway, moving on. So, I'm as sick as my secrets. And let me tell you, I'm sick. And I really was sick. And you are sick, too. And I did some sick things. I'm going to be the first to tell you. I know. Oh, hey, Kareem just told me I'm sick. Yes, you are. Somebody's got to tell you behind. But so now it was time to reveal myself, right? To stop walking around as a fraud, pretending to be something that I'm not. It was time for the animal to exit the cage. Yes, so admitting wrongdoing to God and another person provides freedom from the burden of secrets that cause internal sickness, and it hinders relationships. The whole act of confession itself is a catalyst for healing. It also helps you to gain perspective. By me sharing that full truth about my actions led to a clearer understanding of my behavior and the root causes, such as my selfishness or my fear. When I shared this with said person, with my mentor, it provided a sense of validation. Because I knew that, okay, this guy, he said he understands, he's been there, done that, whatever. And also provided some insights that I did not recognize on my own. And one of them that he provided to me was that it seems to me, Kareem, that you have a self-loathing issue. You hate yourself. I didn't even realize that. I thought I loved myself. Nope. Mm-mm. So, and also in sharing my inventory, because that's basically what it was, with him and with you sharing inventory with another person, it basically created a sense of accountability and it offered vital support for me. My sponsor listened without judgment, my mentor, and he provided encouragement, which was crucial for me because I was facing those uncomfortable emotions and or truths, right? Also, by me openly sharing the exact nature of my wrongs, it helped me to move beyond generalities, right? And take ownership of my specific actions and my attitudes. Remember how I said sharing the exact nature. And by sharing that exact nature, it made it harder for me to excuse or minimize my behavior, which was a key step and is a key step in changing my patterns. By doing this, it breaks the cycle of denial. So now I can just look at myself. I don't have to deny anything. Like, yep, I did it. And own up. And this is what I did, and this is why I did it. This is what I was thinking, and that's what led to it. I was afraid of this and that. Right. And then finally, by sharing this, it facilitates forgiveness. Because that forgiveness first comes from God, right? But also confessing this to a fellow human being is a significant part of the process for receiving and accepting forgiveness. It also allows for the potential to make amends, which is a key part of restitution, which is what I was about to get to. So this step is about ownership, right? It's about ownership, it's about humility, it's about accountability, and of course, forgiveness. And what I did not know, folks, is that it was going to free me. I did not know that. I did not know that it was going to free me. And it was going to release me from the cage. That I was that animal. And it really did produce such a freedom. I did not know that that was what was going to happen. I did not know that that was going to be the product of me sharing the exact nature of my wrongs. But it gave me such a freedom that I never experienced, a peace that I never experienced. When I tell you I felt the weight lifted off of me, I felt something going up off of me. The guilt, the shame, the weights that were holding me down. It's like I needed a spot. I needed God. I needed a spot. I needed someone to grab that barbell off my chest. I needed someone to keep it, to take it away from me. I needed that. You know how it is. You're in the gym and you're struggling. You really are denying, like, oh, you thought you can lift this amount this many times. You're in the now. I needed that to stop happening. I needed to stop feeling like that. I needed to stop feeling like I am the end all be all. I needed to stop feeling guilty. I needed to stop being in shame. I needed to stop being in fear. I needed that spot. I needed something bigger than me, something greater than me, and I needed I needed a spot. I needed somebody there, tangible, to help me let go of these things. So I needed to allow God to take my burdens. I needed that support. I needed that listening ear. And you need the same in order to clear the wreckage. That's why I'm here. That is why I'm here. So let's clear it together as one. We need each other, and we need God's forgiveness. We need each other's forgiveness as well. And we also do need that validation, that support, that listening ear. We need that. Some people are, I don't need validation. We need that as humans. We need that type of connection. We need that support system. And that's what I'm here for. So guess what? You can DM me at Clearing the Wreckage Podcast on Instagram, and we can talk, because I am here for you. You can message me anything, any question, anything you have. I'm here for you. And eventually, soon, I'm gonna do something that's going to actually bring my audience, bring the Wreckage Clearers even closer into my journey. Okay, so be looking forward to that. I'm not giving you all the detail right now, but just look forward to that. But we need each other. We need each other's forgiveness. We need to know that other people understand us. We need to know that somebody is there listening. We need the healing power of God, and we need the forgiveness of others. And truthfully, I needed to forgive myself, and so do you. And I'll leave you with that. As I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.